Streaming. Okay. Oh, are we live? Okay. I think I'm streaming. What is going on, everybody? Hello. Give me one sec here. I'm gonna make sure everything's up. All right. Hey, folks. Eventually, I'm going to figure out like a set time and date. Date and time to come out here, but for right now, here we go. Hey everybody, Valerie Nicole here, and today I want to talk to you guys about what to do when you have an unhappy client. All right, so for all you cosmetologists out there, all the stylists, and even cosmetology students, this is definitely something that you want to nip in the bud now, so that you will have a lot less unhappy clients, okay? Which helps to keep more money in your pocket. Y'all know I'm all about that. So we're going to discuss these topics. I'm giving you 5 tips today that are going to help you out, plus probably a little bit of extra bonus nuggets up in there. And all of that, my dears, is coming up. All right, so here we go. For those of you that are tuning in for the very first time ever, again, I am Valerie Nicole, coming to you live from Washington, D.C., well, the suburbs of Washington, D.C., and I am a licensed senior expert cosmetologist. I've been doing this for a long time. Very recently, just a couple of years ago, I decided to stop working behind the chair, but I still do platform artistry. I still teach in schools and salons in the area, and but for the most part, y'all, I get to hang out at home and still generate income. So we'll get into more about that another time. Right now, I want to focus on you, those stylists and those cosmetology students, especially brand new stylists in the industry. Let's cover this. And it's in the books. It's in your cosmetology book. Y'all have Milady. I know y'all know about that. And I know it gets covered. And in theory, it's one thing. But then when it actually happens to you, holy smokes, that's something else. Okay. Now, it has been very, very rare that I've had an unsatisfied client. I think I've had maybe 3 in my entire career that I can think of. It's possible I had a couple more, but other than that, that's it. And mind you, we're talking, hundreds of people that you're dealing with every single month. So good stuff. But I do want to address it because there's a secret recipe to making sure that your clients leave happy, and that for sure they're happy. Because you know how you have some clients, sometimes they're like, oh, thanks so much, and they pay you money, they pay you for your service, and then they even give you a tip just because they feel like it's the right thing to do, but they leave and they're not happy, and you get a Yelp review or they never come back and you're wondering what's going on, and they never told you that they weren't happy. So one of the first things that you want to do is make sure that you create an open door friendly type of environment when your clients come in. Okay. And it really starts even before they come in, from when you are on the phone with them and they're scheduling their appointments. Whoever is taking those calls and scheduling for you, whether it's you or an assistant, or if you've expanded and you've got a receptionist, make sure that that person is warm, friendly when they're smiling on the phone, because people can feel a smile through the phone, things like that. That really helps, because the thing is, if a person doesn't feel comfortable with you, they're not going to open up to you. So you have to start that process for your clientele, and you have to let them know, listen, and I've done this all the time. When they come in, we always have a consultation. Okay, always. I don't care if they've been coming to me for 5-10 years. I always have a consultation, because you can't just assume that you know what that client wants every single time. And so I let them know in the beginning, listen, you are not going to hurt my feelings, if there's something that I do and you don't like, or if I'm explaining something to you and you don't understand it. So stop me whenever I'm, discussing something with you, if you don't understand, or if that's not what you want, let me know, and we'll be fine, because I want to give you the best experience possible. Like, you have to let them know that up front, because it kind of helps bring the wall down, so that they'll be willing to open up to you, and you guys can have a nice, strong, solid, honest relationship with one another. Okay. Now here's my next tip. Next tip is, if a person, right, even after the consultation and all that, because I'm going to get deeper into consultations in a minute, because that really is the key. But if a person gets upset with you, tip number 1 is don't panic. Okay. Do not panic. All right. I know some people are a little nicer than others when they're not happy with the service. Like, sometimes the client will pull you to the side and say, can you kind of fix this a little bit? And then there are some people that are like, oh, hell no, I don't like this. I want my money back. I can't believe I sat here for 3 hours. You get people like that sometimes. And the thing is, you just want to make sure that you don't panic and don't lose your cool, because you, as the professional, you're setting the tone. You're setting the tone, and you can avoid a lot of scenes if you stick to your guns and you continue to be the professional that you know that you are, that you've been trained to be, that you invested all that money to go to school for, right? Or invested all that time to work under somebody as an apprentice. So, don't let that rattle you. Don't panic. Okay? Stay calm and get the person talking. And not just, lashing out with emotion, but with you speaking calmly to them. At first, it kind of riles people up, because sometimes they're like, how dare you be calm when I'm all upset, But if you continue to stay calm and you let the person know, listen, my apologies that you're unhappy. Let's fix this. And I want to fix it. But the only way we're going to be able to do that is if you share with me what's on your mind and express what it is that you're thinking, so that, we can communicate and I can fix this issue. Okay. So you just want to make sure that you're really clear when it comes to that. Okay. And keep your cool. Keep your cool. Don't lose it. Don't panic. All right. Because when you panic, they instantly think amateur. And some people, unfortunately, will take advantage of that. They will take advantage of that vulnerability, and they will be trying to bully you into doing things that go against your policy. So, just keep your cool. The next tip that I want to give you is don't take it personally. I have felt so bad when I worked in a cosmetology school, and you'd have some clients there get upset with the students, and the student is upset, and they have to take them aside, and they're in tears, because it's hard. It's hard for you to sit there and listen to somebody tell you they don't like your hard work and your creativity. You know what I mean? I get that. I understand that. And I feel for them, but you got to look at it from both sides. If you spent your money on something and you want it done a certain way, you can empathize with them. You can put yourself in their shoes and understand why they're upset. So, don't hold that against yourself. Okay. Take a breath. Do not take this stuff personally, because I'm telling you, some people just want to be mad. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is all your clients, and I don't want you to put all the blame on your clients, but there are just some people that you can't please. As you can see on YouTube, I get on video, and some people love what I do, and some people can't stand me, and that's okay. You can do that, okay? Because you're not paying my bills, okay? Well, actually, you are, because you're coming on the video, and you're watching. Is that how YouTube pays? I don't know. But anyway, the point is, it's not going to change my life drastically just because somebody says that they don't like what I do. Okay. And as a stylist, I want you to always remember something. Okay. And I feel like, there's somebody that needs to hear this today, watching this. There is no other stylist like you. There is no other person like you. Some people will appreciate your uniqueness and some won't. but it doesn't change the fact that you are 100% perfectly you in that moment with who you are. So just because you may have an unhappy client, that's just one moment in time. I do not want you to start second guessing whether or not you're a good stylist, or whether or not you're good at what you do, or whether or not you should be doing this, or those kinds of things. And instead, just listen. Allow them to speak their piece. Let them say what they need to get out. Sometimes people need to vent and get their frustration out. And then after that, let them know, listen, I appreciate you sharing what you just shared with me, because it helps make me a better stylist. So if you don't like what I did, now that you've shared with me what it is you didn't like and all that, let's go back through this step by step. Now see, here's where you've got that insurance, because if you had a nice thorough consultation with them and they explicitly told you one thing and you thought you did that, but they're saying you did something else, now you guys get to rewind and figure out where the miscommunication took place. So that's going to be very helpful for you. Okay, but definitely do not take anything that they say personally. And as a matter of fact, even when somebody compliments you on your excellent work, right? You may get a client that absolutely loves their hair now, and they're so happy, and they're like, thank you so much, you're just the awesomest. Even though it's much appreciated, and yes, you should have gratitude for that, still, don't even let that define who you are, right? You're still you. And I want you to be confident with the skills that you've developed and the talent that you have, whether or not somebody praises you, whether or not somebody's unhappy with you. Does that make sense? You guys getting that? Okay. So, definitely don't take any of the stuff personally. You have come here to do a job, to perform that service. And then when you're done, you get to go back home and you get to be, you in your personal life, which is different from you in your business life, So, yeah, don't take anything personally. And hear them out. Really listen. Which brings me to number 3. You want to communicate. You want to communicate. You want to ask questions, and then once you ask the question, pause. Say nothing. Let that person answer the question so that you can find out exactly what the client was expecting. All right? You're going to have, like I said, the person will be a little rattled at first because it's not what they wanted, and there'll be different degrees of that. But as long as you are calm, collected, respectful of that person, respecting their opinion and respecting their feelings, they will finally calm down and they'll let you know what it is that they have a problem with. And a lot of times the things that they have a problem with is no big deal, right? But you definitely want to communicate with them. Start asking questions. Okay, what exactly is it that you're unhappy with? Where do you want me to fix the look? Like really start asking more detailed questions. If it's a haircut, make sure you don't cut off too much, and ask, when you said you wanted a trim, that is all that I did. I took off the dead ends. That's it. Now, if you want me to make it even, then let me know that, because that's a little bit different from a trim, right? And also make sure if what they're upset about that you need to fix is going to adjust, is going to cause the price to be adjusted, and you need to up the price, let them know that up front. Be as upfront and as transparent as you possibly can be with your clientele. Okay, so ask some specific basic questions, right? And don't try to use a lot of cosmetology terminology because when you do, that confuses people even more. And it's because a lot of the public at large, they misuse our terms. They think they know what we do. They don't know, right? We got tons of kitchen cosmetologists out there, right? And so they'll use one term when they really mean something else, right? Like, I cannot tell you how much it irks my nerves to hear somebody come to me and tell me they want a perm, but what they mean is they want a relaxer. Because I work on all different cultures of clients, And a perm is actually a permanent wave, permanent curls. So for somebody to tell me they want a perm, I'm like, oh, don't say that. But of course I understand what they mean, you know. So I said, okay, you want me to straighten your hair, you want to get a chemical relaxer, right? You want to get a thermal straightener. And just to be clear that we're on the same page. But as far as like, you know, talking about the apex of the head and talking about the crown, a lot of people think they know where the crown is. They think it's way up here, it's a little bit back, you know, stuff like that. Just kind of meet them where they are so that you're sure that you understand exactly what they want, what they're trying to express to you. But yeah, make sure you ask a lot of questions, especially when it comes to like haircuts and color. Show them a chart. Show them a few pictures. I don't really like to overdo it with pictures though, because a lot of times they look at that picture and they think they're supposed to get exactly that. And this is a picture of a celebrity who has all this extra lighting, and they got airbrushed. So no, you're not gonna look like that, okay? So I don't really like to overdo it with the pictures, but just to kind of get a feel, and with color, like, do they want a warmer tone? Do they want a neutral tone? Do they want a cool tone? Letting them know, listen, this is the process that this is going to take. You know, just being clear with them as to exactly what you're going to do before you do it, and that helps to eliminate, you know, your client getting upset and not getting the service that they wanted. Another tip is this: fix it. Fix the problem. You know, once you've heard them out, you know why they're upset. Because sometimes people start off with, I need a refund because I don't like this. And, you know, communicate with them. Don't say yes or no yet. Communicate with them, find out exactly what they're unhappy about, and offer to fix the problem. If they are so angry that they don't even want you to do that, you know what? I say all money ain't good money. Okay, all money does not need to go in your pocket. And if you've got somebody that you just don't vibe with and they're bringing a lot of negative energy into your space, get them out of your space as soon as possible. So you know what? Even though in my salon we did not really have I didn't really have a money back policy. I didn't have a refund policy because, you know, this is my time that you're paying for, as well as the service. And since I can't separate the two, I just really didn't give refunds. And like I said, I've only had like maybe 3 people who were unhappy in my whole career. And that was in the beginning of it, you know. So that's up to you whether or not you're going to have a refund policy. But if you do, you definitely want to have, you know, some stipulations in there. And it's one thing, like if you are known for, you know, satisfaction guaranteed, you may want to be clear on what satisfaction is. What is that definition going to be between you and your client? Because some people, unfortunately, some people do try to get over. So, you know, offer to fix the error, and either fix it right then and there, or if they're open to it, you can make an appointment for them to come back and you fix it, whatever it is. Of course, that's going to depend on what the problem was, of course, you know. But just to kind of keep you on schedule with the rest of your day and your book, if you need to reschedule them, ask them if you can do that. And you go from there. But hey, if all else fails and you've tried everything that you can do, go ahead, give that refund. Sometimes I would even, I think there was a time I even gave a gift, because they were so cooperative. They were so cooperative. They said, you know, I don't really like this. Is there any way that you can fix it? And so I fixed it. They gave me a tip, and then they rescheduled and they came back again. They rebooked, and I was like, yeah. So when they came back, I gave them a gift because, you know, when it comes to having that stylist-client relationship, that's like sacred. You know what I mean? It's like you are touching them in vulnerable spots. You know, normally you're not that close up to people where you're like right in their face, or like hanging over top of them while you're shampooing them and things like that. You're touching their scalp. It's stimulating the brain, the scalp and everything. And it's like, it's a very intimate moment between you, not intimate sexually, but you know, it's an intimate moment between you and your client. And this is why like so many clients love to open up to us, right? I think it's us and what, bartenders that they seem to open up to the most. And I'm going to do a video about that, as a matter of fact, how to keep it business. But still, even in business, you have a business relationship and you want it to be solid and you want it to be strong and you want it to be long lasting. So, you know, when people work with me, I work with them and I show them my appreciation, just like they show their appreciation through their tips and gifts when they bring you Christmas gifts and birthday gifts and stuff. That's always sweet of them too. So but yeah, the most important thing that you are going to want to do is get really good with building your communication skills, so that you always have a nice thorough consultation and you and that client are on the same page as to what the outcome is going to be for their look. All right. So like, for example, this is why I say be careful with using cosmetology terminology, because what might be volume to you is way too much volume for them. Right? And you go and they say, oh, I want a roller set and I want a lot of volume. What they mean is they want a lot of bounce. They want movement, but they said volume. And so you're sitting there rolling their hair on base so that they have the ultimate volume, and you take it out and you are styling and they're like, well, what did you do to my head? This is way too much. This looks like a fro. What are you doing? And you're like, but you say a volume. And they're like, no, I mean, you know, I want to move it. You know, those kinds of things tend to happen. So just make sure that you're clear on what it is that they're looking for exactly. And then, here's another golden nugget I'm going to throw in here as a bonus. When you're done, when you've got satisfied customers, what you'll want to do is make sure you take pictures. Take pictures. Because when you do that, you can have your own book of your work, right? You don't have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars trying to get your look inside of those lookbooks and have it in the salon. You don't have to do all that. You can make your own. And this way your clientele can see what kind of work that you have. This is especially comforting for new clients that you bring in, which makes it even easier for you to consult with them and figure out what they want. And they may even find a look inside of your book that you know how to do in like 20 minutes, honey. And that wasn't what they were planning on at first. But when they see it, they're like, ooh, can you give me this look? And you're like, yeah, because I booked you for an hour. I'm going to get you done in 20 minutes. Okay, that means I could fit somebody in my chair early. Boom, more money. Okay. That's what I love. You can also do this in this day and age with technology and all that. You best make sure, because I didn't do this, you know, back then, social media and all that was like kind of just taking off. But definitely start using social media platforms to showcase your work. If you love Facebook, do some Facebook Lives. Just like I'm doing right now, you can share your expertise with your clientele or with the public, you know, the whole Facebook world. You could have membership portals. Child, I'm thinking about stuff off the top of my head. I love this. But you could do membership portals where once your client becomes a steady client, that you have a special site for them so that you can keep them up to date on what's going on with your shop and on the latest discounts exclusively for your loyal customers and things like that. They'll have a little site in there and it makes them feel special. It's like a little VIP thing that you could do for them. But yeah, showcase your work. If you're on Instagram, child, if you don't take those pictures and put them on Instagram these days, your camera phone is just as high quality as those $800, you know, dollar cameras. And if you think about it, you're paying that much for your phones these days anyway. So use it. Use that high quality. Put that beauty filter on there, okay? And then post it on the Instagram. Let people know what you're doing, okay? And really start thinking outside the box. And this will allow you to build a huge customer base of happy clients. All right. So hopefully you guys have gotten a lot of value from this today. And as a matter of fact, I want to start coming on more often, sharing more tips with you as stylists, as students, and even for people that love beauty and they're looking to make a little extra cash with beauty, but they don't necessarily have a license. There's still some things that you can do, and I'll let you guys know a little bit more about that. So I'm gonna go, and as I do, I wanted to just remind you guys I'm getting ready to host my LashBash for 2018, where we're gonna have a fun and interactive challenge group, and I'm going to challenge you guys to try some new things with your look, and we're going to focus on solely lashes, where you will learn some things from the most minimal makeup wearers to the glammiest of the glam. We're going to cover it all, and we're just going to do it a little bit each day so it doesn't take up a lot of your time, because we're all busy women, right? So definitely you want to check that out. If you want to know more about that, you'll need to visit my Facebook fan page, which is inside the description box. Okay, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you're catching a replay, put that in the comments too. I'm happy anytime somebody takes a moment to visit me. So thanks so much, and I will see you in the next video coming soon. Take care, guys. Bye.